It was set up. Oh, yeah, I'm good. It was set up well before we were here.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tonight, visiting us is SLC Surge. And please remember that I wouldn't be attending the game or drinking the ride by the OCAA secondary code product that you will see posted outside the door. Cheer loud, cheer hard, but please remain respectful. Because there is a chance to win fan on the game tonight. Be loud as a fan in the stands tonight. And stick around for halftime as we got our chance to win $1,000 that we shoot for cash. Please stand and remove your hats as we for our playing our national anthem.
Oh, shit.
Now for your starting lineups, St. Lawrence College. Number 12, Lieutenant Barnes. And now for your starting lineups for your Loyalist Lakers, number 6, Sunday. Number 8, Brooklyn Orange. Number 10, Gwen Orangeburg. Number 14, Haley Lemaire. Number 22, Grace Allen.
All right, good evening, Lancer fans. John Ostrowski on the call with my broadcast partner, Steven Schill. We have Lancer Tuesday night basketball. Almost said Friday night, but getting a little ahead of myself. So we're here on the call. We're bringing in the St. Lawrence Surge from Kingston, Ontario. They're off to not an ideal start, 0-3 with 3 losses against Georgia, Seneca, and Algonquin. So, Steve, what are we looking for the Lancer women tonight?
I mean, listen, the Lancers are coming here at 4-0 as they win the tip right off as we see Callahan with it. And I think really just about the consistency. And we saw a little bit of a slow start against the Algonquin Wolves, and we'll see if they can get things going as we see a 3-point shot up from Brooklyn White and 100% from the 3 line already here earlier. Counted as a 2. But again, just looking for consistency from the Lancers, and they should be quite dominant here against the Surge team. So hopefully they'll be able to do that.
Yeah, Lancers coming in as a heavy favorite, but of course they're not going to take this Surge team lightly. They're hungry for a first win as they circle the ball around the perimeter. There's number 15, Perot, driving in, passes it to the post player, number 33. That's going to hit the outside of the rim and out. And with the rebound, offensive rebound for number 14, that's 2, Laura Mallon. And a 3-ball, but that's going to clank off the outside of the rim. Starting lineup for your Loyalist Lancers. Callahan running the point. She has Sophie Vanny out there as her guard partner as that basket goes in. And on the wing is number 8, Brooklyn White. And the 2 post players are number 14, Lemaire, and I'm missing 1 player. I believe I'm missing number 10, Gwen Forrester.
Yeah, Gwen Forrester actually in the last game seemed to struggle a little bit. Normally she's absolutely fantastic. So I guess if we're going to look for one thing throughout this game, wanting to see Forrester come back quite strong. And for the St. Lawrence Surge team, Ella Dool is not on the roster this year. And Ella Dool was basically the powerhouse that led the Surge in pretty much every single department last year. So excited to see what the Surge bring for us here today in Belleville.
And now here's number 15 with the ball, Perot. Perot makes double move. She's stopped by Callahan, and it looked like a rip by number 10, Forrester. Might have been a steal, but it won't be. It'll be a foul. Will be a reaching in against. We'll see what the call is on the board. It's number 15 picking up the foul. That'll actually be, a reach in against the St. Lawrence Surge. That's Perot with her first team for the visitors. Now with the ball, number 10, Forrester. She's a perimeter player. I do apologize for that mistake. Beautiful tic-tac-toe play. And that's Forrester to Callahan to Lemaire. Easy 2 points for the Loyalist Lancers.
Yeah, one of the battles that I'm wanting to watch right now is kind of just around that paint. We're seeing Lemaire getting paired up against Taylor Moynes, who's listed at 6'1". So again, does the bigger bodies have any kind of change here as we're seeing an early timeout from the side of the Surge here? Well, the Lancers are up by 6.
And we're back on the call looking for substitutions. Don't see any, so must have been something that Coach Robertson on the visiting side didn't like as Callahan shoots the long-range shot, but that's going to hit the outside of the rim and rip the ball. Oh, my goodness, Gwen Forrester with a lot of aggression, and looks like it might be.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong elbow straight to the ground there for Michaela Shelter. So just waiting a second, wanting to check things. We'll see if a substitution comes out, but it was quite a hard pull as Forrester and Shelter got tangled up there for a jump ball. We'll see ultimately what the call is, but mentioned Coach Greg Robertson for the Surge in his first year. So we'll see how he does today against a squad and Loyalist that is having back-to-back phenomenal years, and really I think one of the championship contenders.
Yeah, it's something we've talked about a couple times as a substitution has been made in. It's number 10, Haley Corbett, in. And pass to the interior, but not going to make its target as it will be awarded a steal for Laura Mallon. She's running the floor, passes it up to Perot. Perot waits, looks for something, can't find Her target, now it's back to Malin. Malin has the ball. She's picked up by Forster. Nice screen by the post player there, number 33, Moynes. Passed out to the perimeter, to the baseline. And great defense, just keeping her hands up. That is Brooklyn White. And nothing easy. They have to force up not a great shot.
Yeah, Corbett really was just screaming for that ball over on the side and kind of was wide open at multiple chances. Brooklyn White for the Lancers was giving her a ton of room, just trying to guard the basket in case there was a challenge drive for it. But again, Corbett was just on the sidelines, just screaming for the ball and got there last seconds, but only 3 seconds to work with and wasn't able to capitalize on the bucket. But Surge with 14 seconds to try to make something happen.
And they get possession back on the offensive rebound. That looked like a carry, but no call there. Callahan being ruthless on the defensive end, and beautiful defense. Spent 2.5 minutes already with no score for the visiting team. Beautiful pass, heads up by Forrester right to Brooklyn White.
Yeah, Forrester again, something that I just wanted to see from the last game. Completely unlike her, not to have a very strong game. When we're seeing on the defensive side, on the offensive side, she's doing everything here early. Number 10 in White.
There's a shot from Moyne, the post player, and it's not going to be close. And Lemaire tries to save it. Looked like it was off number 21, Shelter, but yeah, that will be the call. Will be Loyalist ball, I believe.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Caleb Hugh of the Lancers, just up 8-0 here early again. The Algonquin game was obviously a little bit tougher of an opponent, but Lancers fell behind early, and here looking quite strong.
And that's my fault. It is St. Lawrence ball. I do apologize for that. Ball right into the post, trying to get easy 2 points. There you go, first 2 points of the game. And that's been a struggle for the St. Lawrence Lancers, excuse me, St. Lawrence Surge. They have yet to crack 50 points in this game, and they really want to, or in this season, and they really would like to have a high-scoring game today as Vanny fakes a three-point shot. Nice Euro, and that'll be easy 2 points.
Yeah, Laura Mallon there in the number 14 jersey didn't want to commit a foul there, but Mallon being one of the fifth-year players on the Surge team.
And picked up at full court. There's Corbett, passes it to 21, but ball is nowhere to be found for her. Now, 2-point shot. She took a step in. That's not going to hit the target. Now here comes Callahan running the floor in transition. Looked like it could possibly be a reach-in. And yeah, sorry, a push by number 15, Perot.
Yeah, Perot looking to make that shot, but again, just a little bit awkward where she shuffled ahead. And would have been a 2 if that went in. But again, Lancers looking mighty strong earlier as I find myself repeating myself. But honestly, this Lancer squad, I do think that this is one of the most talented teams that we've seen in the gym. And again, it's not a massive roster by any means. Coach Caleb Hugh winning Coach of the Year last year, and just everything is pointing in the right direction here for Loyalist. And coming into the new year, we're going to be able to use that new gym, allegedly. So looking forward to that too.
And Abigail Flynn into the game now for the visitors. And Callahan with the ball. Vanny has it along the perimeter, gets harassed by number 10, Corbett. Balls for a long-range shot, number 10, Forrester, but not close as they get the rebound. Now Forrester has the ball, gives it to Callahan, looks for something, tries to drive, and that will likely be a block against number 14, Malin.
Yeah, give extra credit there to Sophie Vanny, just rushing to keep that in play for the Lancers. And just, again, the squad is trying to do everything in their power, and it's really fun to watch.
And they're going to maintain possession after the block. Third team foul already for the St. Lawrence Surge. Could possibly be 5 seconds. Nope.
Yeah, Michaela Shelter there was just committing a foul as Gwen Forrester was trying to break away from her target. And St. Lawrence added another foul. And again, about a minute ago, it was 1-1 on the foul side, and St. Lawrence picked up 3 in, I think, the last 60 seconds.
Yeah, that's not what Coach Robertson wanted. As Callahan with the midi, and that's going to be over the player number 33. Great shot by Callahan.
Yeah, and Callahan in the Algonquin game got 2 fouls right off the rip, so she wasn't even really to play the game at all. So again, completely different look for the Lancers. There's another diving effort between the squads, and oh my goodness, White comes up with it.
And great heads-up pass by White to Callahan. Thinking about the 3. She's going to take it. In the bottom of the basket all the way from Cornwall. Grace Callahan for 3. She's got 5 on this one already.
Yeah, Callahan last year being a huge dominant player for the Lancers. You see another steal, and that's what she was known for last year as White tries to get it away to Vanny, who shoots the 3, and it's not but the side of the net almost looked good.
And a nice pass to get out of the dangerous spot there. Corbett getting picked up at full court. And another steal. Now this time it's number 6, Vanny. Wow, and the Lancers up 15-2. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. And what a dominant first little 5 minutes for the Loyalist Lancers women's basketball team. Callahan thinking about the heat check, not going to take it with a defender in her face, gives it to Lemaire. Lemaire tries to drive, can't find it. Brooklyn White for 3. That's going to hit the outside of the rim, rebounded by number 3, Flynn. She gets stripped almost right away, and wow, what a heads-up play.
Yeah, I'm surprised both players got up from that completely unharmed because it looked like both of them had head-to-head contact, but looks like they're both okay, but that could have been way worse.
Into the game is Marlena Rees. Out of the game is number 21, Shelter. So the St. Lawrence Surge going for a different player there, and yeah, not the start they're looking for. 15-2 for your hometown Loyalist Lancers. And remember, we have the men's game, Surge Lancers at 8 p.m. right here, where same place you can find this one, as a steal is going to be awarded for Forster, but she might not get possession, and she won't. She's shocked she didn't get possession there. And it'll be a check pickup at a little bit before the half line. It'll be number 14, Malin, throwing it in. Throws it to the guard, number 10, Corbett. Corbett picked up by number 10, Forrester. Oh, she's pushed to the ground. That'll be a charge. Oh, no, that'll be a block against Forrester, I believe.
Yeah, interesting to note, too, that we're finally seeing the first substitutions. It's over 5 minutes played for the Lancers, as we see Anderson and Tomlinson coming to check in. But I feel like traditionally Loyalist has gotten a couple substitutions in early, so we'll see what this game looks like. And again, Lancers 15-2, really just in the driver's seat as St. Lawrence is set to inbound.
4:36 left to go in the first quarter. Number 25 coming into the game, Wagner, and Taylor Moynes coming out of the game. It's a bit of a new lineup now for the Surge as they run a play off the inbound. Gets it to the guard, number 10, Corbett. She drives. Oh, finds an opening, but just going to dribble it off her foot. Great defense once again by Forster to keep the ball in front of the offensive player and force a turnover for the Surge.
Yeah, it just felt like the defensive side of things for the Lancers is just doing absolutely everything right. And I don't know if it's St. Lawrence just being a little bit laxy-daisy on the passes, but again, just monster amount of steals here early for Loyalist.
And now Vanny has it. White picked up, Forrester picked up. Oh, and that looked like she got mugged there, but contact to the head against number 4 on the on the St. Lawrence side, and the Lancers are already in the bonus at 5 fouls.
Yeah, Laura Mallon being the only goal scorer for the Surge. Well, Grace Callahan's picked up 7 points already with Brooklyn White right behind her with 4.
And White misses her first free throw. Going to make her second one. So 1 for 2. And running up the floor is the guard. Oh, finds her pass. There's number 4, Reeves with the ball. Picked up by White. Now Malin has it. She drives to the inside. And she's mugged once again. Another steal for the Lancers. Now running up the floor is Vanny. Sophie Vanny looking for Anaya Tomlinson. Picks up the ball. Shoots it. And that's going to be a missed shot for Tomlinson. 0 for 1 on the day. Rebounded by the St. Lawrence Surge. Flynn has the ball. Looks like she has a really tough time getting past half. And it'll be quick. I thought that could have been blown down a little bit sooner, but it'll be a jump ball, and the Lancers will recover it, retain possession. Oh, no. Excuse me. The Surge will now get possession, so the possession arrow will switch. Thrown into number 10, Corbett. Guarded by Forrester. Drives on the left side, finds a teammate, and passes it. Now Flynn has it, almost got stripped by Tomlinson. And foul called by the far referee. Looks like some sort of illegal hit. We'll see what the call is. And that is against number 15 on the Lancers. That is her first foul, Anaya Tomlinson. As number 14, Malin will throw the ball in. They only have 2 points so far. They definitely want to get some more, but will be an illegal screen. That's not the way to make it happen, unfortunately, for the Surge. And substitution now into the game for the Surge is number 22, Raina Solomon.
Yeah, just running into foul troubles in the game, really, really slowing down here. I think that was something we had in the Algonquin game, too, that it just felt like the game wasn't able to kind of find its footing, so we'll see what the Lancers can do here as it's White with the possession.
Yeah, we're into the first quarter, and they've used almost all their bench, the St. Lawrence Surge, as Callahan has wide open, takes the bump, and it will be a charge against Callahan. And that'll be her first foul. I was about to say second, but it's a fourth team foul. Picked up at full court. Now with the ball is Flynn. Running up, she gets stripped once again. Yeah, that's going to be a problem if that continues. Another steal for number 8, White. Now Callahan shooting from long range, and that's going to hit all the way from Fort Francis. Grace Callahan hits her second three-point shot of the game. And they're having a really tough time bringing the ball up half. The full court press of the Lancers just absolutely hounding the Surge as Callahan gets the ball. She's not picked up yet. Gives it to number 8, White. Drives in. No foul, but there was contact. But Nina Anderson from New Lisker will clean it up.
Yeah, Brooklyn White, even though Tomlinson and a couple other players had wide open shots, just wanted to drive to that net. And it's kind of just White's play style of aggressive grinding towards the net. And same with Callahan. And again, just the whole Lancer squad trying to do what they can in the paint here. Is they're up 21-2, and this is turning into an interesting situation.
Yeah, Pearl comes back in the game, taking out Flynn, and now they will be after the foul on Violet Stark, who, yeah, that's in the game. Unfortunately, we missed when she came into the game. She'll get her first foul. And the third point of the game now for the Surge as Corbett hits her first free throw. Lane violation against the Lancers. The Surge will get one more shot. And that'll be 2 for 2 at the line. Cutting into the lead a little bit. Callahan running the point, takes the ball up. She's picked up by Mallon. Takes a screen from Anderson. Goes down the baseline, looks for the pass for the three. And going to hit the outside of the rim. Rebounded by the visitors, but Callahan will be there on another steal, and she's going to get a putback.
Yeah, just the defensive efforts from, even though that was an offensive rebound in a way, and just the poking and prodding from the Lancers being in the right position and trying to capitalize, because the St. Lawrence, whenever they do kind of get a rebound, they're trying to look for something quickly and just not having enough distance between the next player and just falling a little bit short where Loyalist is able to just stick a hand out.
Into the game now, number 12. That is Barnes, McKenna Barnes, out of the game. Number 14, Laura Mallon. As throws the ball in. Passes it back. That is Brooklyn White. White going around, finds Tomlinson, but Callahan looking for the pass. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but they'll try to get the ball back quick on the press. Now number 10 brings it up. Corbett drives wide open for number 22, Solomon. It's sent back by number 8, Brooklyn White.
Yeah, not too bad. Again, just all the time. It seems like we're just complimenting the Lancers defense here and just really giving that extra effort. I don't know if it's even a skill thing versus just being completely aware of what to do and being in the right position.
And it's what separates good teams from great teams. I think the Lancers defense has been absolutely fantastic all season. Seen the first of Angel Alonce tonight as Lemaire gets back into the game as well. And a long-range shot for number 12. That's going to miss the net. And running the point now, Forrester, as Callahan's out of the game. Makes sense. Forrester picked up by Barnes. Forrester's still there. Can't find anyone. She looked like she left her pivot foot, but luckily got rid of the ball. And number 8, White now at the three-point line. Picked up by Parole. And not sure. I'll have to see what the call is. It is a... it's definitely a foul.
Yeah, offensive foul here against the Lancers. But, I mean...
Oh, no, sorry, a turnover. It was possibly a charge of some sort. We're not too sure. Not a charge of travel of some sort, but regardless, the Surge will get the ball back as Corbett has the ball picked up, double-teamed. Oh, there's a wide-open player. There's 15. She's driving Parole, driving on Lemaire. Looking for something. It's going to be, great play by Lemaire. Gets her hand in there knowing that they have possession, and it will be Loyalist ball. Now here's Gwen Forrester running up. Gives it to Stark. Stark, ball's stripped. And it'll be, jump ball, but it'll be St. Lawrence ball regardless. That's great defensive play by Corbett. $1:18 left to go in the first quarter. It has been all Loyalists so far as Barnes throws the ball in. I think Loyalist is well over 10 steals for the first quarter. We'll have to check at quarter time. And a big block there by White, too. Another emphasizing defensive play for the three-pointer. They're going for it. St. Lawrence hitting their first three of the game. That is McKenna Barnes. Not what Coach Hugh wanted there. She was left wide open.
Yeah, to your point about turnovers, St. Lawrence Surge committing 11 to Loyalist 4 so far.
Wow. And that'll win you and lose you basketball games for sure. And that's how you win games in dominating fashion, when you control the offensive and defensive glass as well as the turnover game. And there's nice hustle by number 22, Solomon, unable to get the ball. She has to get back up as Alonce has it. Go for the three! Oh, you thought she was going to hit that for sure. She went for the buzzer-beating three, could not hit it, as Alonce is known for her long-range threes. At one point was leading the OCAA in three-point percentage, as easy basket for Perot off the assist from Corbett, and that will be a timeout for Loyalist, as St. Lawrence is rolling a bit. Welcome back to Loyalist Lancers OCAA TV YouTube stream. Whatever channel you're watching it on, I'm John Ostrowski, joined with Steven Schill. A dominating first quarter for the Loyalist Lancers women's basketball team, 23-9, with 27 seconds left to go in the first stanza.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Haley Corbett for a second on the previous play. Just the bounce pass was perfect, and something we're seeing from both teams is just a little bit sloppy on the passing, as again, Brooklyn White almost gets picked off there from receiving that pass, but a foul call is going to go against St. Lawrence. But again, it's really the only thing that it feels a little bit sloppy from both sides here is just the passing game late here in the first.
Yeah, and Loyalist has just been a little bit more polished, so they've been able to capitalize a bit more, especially on the defensive end. They've been fantastic, as unfortunately the Surge have gotten into a bit of foul trouble, and they have a bit of a thin bench to begin with, as Vanny hits her first free throw. And you want to be careful going into foul trouble in the first quarter, as it is now 24-9, as now it's 25-9. Substitution in the game. Number 10 is coming in for number 15. That is Corbett in for Perot. And 18 seconds, shot clock turned off. Running up the court now is Corbett. Picked up by White. Switching. There's active hands by Brooklyn White. And another jump. That'll go the way of the Loyalist Lancers. 7.2 seconds left. Loyalist will end up getting the last shot of the first quarter.
Yeah, looking for Forrester or Alonce to take this. Looks like Alonce is going to take it.
Alonce trying to drive. And that was a push against the St. Lawrence Surge. Alonce will go to the line for the first time. That is the second foul for Laura Mallon. First free throw goes for the guard player, Alonce, and she misses a second, but it could be an opportunity for more points, and it won't be.
Yeah, Lemaire just grabbing that and bouncing it off, just knowing she's not going to get the shot off, and White trying to do that. But Lancers leading strongly heading into the second quarter, 26-9.
All right, we're back for quarter number 2. 26-9 Lancers getting set. Sent in now. Here is Corbett driving. Sends it off to number 4, Rees. Now down to Corbett. Corbett driving. It looked like that could have been a foul, but finishes with the contact, Corbett. Maybe not a foul, but a little bit of contact regardless.
Yeah, Lancers shooting 52% from the field, while St. Lawrence is 4 of 12 at 33%.
Yeah, 33% from the field is not what you want. You want to be hitting at least 45. Is Lemaire with a tough finish. And that'll be 2 more points for the home side.
Yeah, and Lancers also capitalizing off those 12 turnovers with scoring exactly 12 points. So, again, something to watch here for the Surge, making sure their passes are clean. As it is, the shot is up and just a miss as Lemaire comes down with it for Loyalist.
Lemaire with another rebound. She is a hound on the defensive glass as Callahan recovers the ball. Going for the 3, thought about it, but now, beautiful ball movement. Alonso. Oh, you thought she was going to hit that one, too. Every time she takes a shot, you think she's going to hit it.
Yeah, got quite a spin on it. And, again, the pass from Forrester was kind of risky a second ago to get to Callahan. But, again, great recycling across the arc there for Loyalist and just wasn't able to nail that shot. As Alonso, again, in the previous game was absolutely lights out against Algonquin on that three-point shot.
She has an absolutely beautiful stroke from the three-point line. Like, reminds me of like a little prime Ray Allen maybe. You know, it's just such one motion, super fluid, and like it looks like it's going to go in every time. It's an absolutely gorgeous shot. And she is, like I said, one of the premier long-range shooters in this OCAA division as Lemaire takes the ball away now with the ball as Vanny driving the lane. Oh, and good defense by the St. Lawrence player, but it'll be out of bounds. And it's going to go the other way. Good defense by Shelter to force the turnover as it looked like it was going to be an easy 2 for Vanny. As number 3 comes back into the game, Flynn taking out number 12, Barnes.
Yeah, Angel Alonso and Sophie Vanny, both rookies on this squad, and we're seeing Vanny pretty much in the starting lineup every single game, and Alonso being a powerhouse off the bench. And again, talking about the championship caliber team that the Loyalist is, having those 2 rookies come into this program is huge as Forrester seals it away to Callahan. Tries to go off the backboard and just falls short.
Yeah, it's going to want that one back. Unfortunately, doesn't miss very many of those, but luckily you don't feel too bad about it when you have already established a big lead, as it will be a foul, I believe, against the home side. Yeah, against number 6.
Vanny just trying to poke that away, but ends up having Corbett run into her a little bit, and the referee going to call a foul on that. And again, just hoping the second quarter doesn't have as many fouls as the first.
I was saying Shelter. Excuse me. It is Michaela Shetler. So I do apologize for that. And looked like an illegal reach-in for Callahan, so they'll just get to redo the throw-in. But that was Shetler, excuse me. I do apologize for that. And this time it's just a out of bounds on Callahan, getting her hands up. Shetler's having a hard time getting it around her. So this is the type of things that Loyalists do defensively to really bug their opponents. Their hands are so active defensively. And you can tell that's something they really emphasize in practice as they're going. Reese thought she was going to go for the long-range shot. Gives it to Flynn, guarded by Callahan. And, Callahan able to take the ball away super easily. And that's likely her 3rd or 4th steal already. Callahan, she had Anderson, but went for number 6, Vanny instead. Brooklyn White for 3, and not going to make it. Now Callahan has a shorter defender over her. Pass it down low to number 6, Vanny will be 2. Running up the floor now, Corbett. Picked up by number 10, Forrester. At the three-point line now, here's Rees. Rees gives it to number 21 with the shot, and over, so that will be a turnover.
Yeah, just trying to check out the stats. I don't see if they have anything regarding steals listed, but Grace Callahan, again, having a monstrous game with 12 points here early and 4 rebounds to boot, so leading the team both in points and rebound, Grace Callahan.
Taken out for number 8, Brooklyn White. Running the point now, Sophie Vanny. And Sophie Vanny, guarded by Flynn. Passing the ball around. Anderson with the shot and won't find the back of the net. Now Shetler running up the floor, tipped, poked away by Forrester. Another steal for her. Now running the floor. Here come the Lancers. Beautiful pass to Anderson, but just can't get a hand on it. It'll be a turnover on Loyalist.
Yeah, both teams just rushing a little bit on that passing front. But again, Loyalist is able to capitalize here. And I mean, if I'm St. Lawrence, I'm trying to just slow down a little bit because they're going so quickly. And on that pass, immediately it's for a turnover. And just, you're having to be calm, cool, and realizing just how much the turnovers are really impacting your game right now. So slow it down, try to find an opening, wait for a player to come, and realize that Loyalist, as you've been saying, is going to try to poke at you no matter what. So be ready for it.
Going to be going the other way now. Will be thrown in by Anderson. So turnover against St. Lawrence. Loyalist getting the ball in very opportune positions and wide open. Vanny. Oh, and bank shot in all the way from Kingston. Sophie Vanny with her first 3 of the evening. Now here is White, passes it to Shetler and travel against number 21. Shetler, ball's going the other way.
Yeah, just again, it's the whole passing thing of trying to find the right opportunity and just rushing it a little bit. Really taking your time, realizing, hey, you might have to dribble for a second if you don't have extra help.
Someone has to throw it in here for the Lancers. It's going to be Anderson. Anderson looking for her target. Thought she had White, but she'll go to Forster. Forster at the top of the point, passes it to Vanny. Oh, sorry, that's White. She got fouled. 2 shots. Easy call for the official.
Yeah, and I think White got the one knocked out of her a little bit there. She's holding her stomach. She got an elbow driven into the guy. Again, Lancers 33-11. Just an absolute dominant performance and something you want to see again from a championship caliber team.
Back into the game, number 14 for the visiting St. Lawrence Surge, Laura Mallon.
They're going to see a timeout from the Surge. Loyalist is up 33-11.
All right, at the charity stripe, number 8, Brooklyn White. First free throw is no good.
Just catching up on the stat side of thing. Surge having 18 turnovers to Loyalist 5, and Loyalist capitalizing on with 17 points to the Surge, only capitalizing with 3 points for the turnovers they've gotten against Loyalist. As another turnover happens to White right here, runs in and almost an end one, but Mallon going to get dinged for another foul, and I think she might be in foul trouble at this point.
I'm not sure if I agree with that call. I thought she went straight up. 3 fouls, with all this time left is not what you want.
Especially from your fifth-year player.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Your fifth-year player. You have to activate your bench. Like I said, I didn't necessarily agree with that call, but so many decisions you have to make as a basketball official. You're not going to get every single one 100%. Like I said, you just have to kind of adjust when your players get in foul trouble, and that's part of the game, honestly. I think it happens to every player, especially a player that plays as much as Mallon does for the Surge. And now back to Barnes. And back and forth, beautiful defensive effort goes off the foot of the Surge players, so it'll be going the other way.
Yeah, again, just back to the passing here for the Surge. I don't know if it's something where you have more players back, because, again, just bringing up the floor, it seems like they're struggling.
My fault. It was a push against Brooklyn White, so it will be her first personal. Can't believe it's actually her first personal foul. That really shows the difference in the foul trouble. The Lancers are in a great position when it comes to fouls and all that. So now here's number 12, Barnes. Tries to dribble. Miscommunication with her teammate.
Yeah,
Reeves.
they kind of just collided almost like a hockey check against teammates there and lost possession.
It'll be going the other way now. Brooklyn White throwing it in to Sophie Vanny. Picked up at 3/4 court. Now going past half. Guarded by Flynn. Gives it to, give and go. Beautiful by Lemaire to Vanny. Vanny to Lemaire. Back to Vanny. Give and go. And an easy 2 points for the Lancers. That'll be a turnover because she stepped over the line. And there you go. Alexis Wagner checking into the game for the first time, and not how she wanted to start, as Tomlinson and Callahan come in for Forster and Anderson, respectively. 37-11 for your hometown Lancers. They're having one heck of a game right now. They've had one heck of a start to the season, going 4-0, and Callahan tried to go for the quick trigger, but didn't have it there. She's guarded. Pass back out to the point to Shackle. And a little give and go, but it won't work this time. It'll be going the other way. Surge ball.
Yo, I absolutely love Sophie Vanny. Every time that there is a loose ball, she is always 100% of the time the one trying to run and keep that in play. Wasn't able to do that there, but just love that extra defensive effort.
And got to go quick. Could be 5 seconds very soon. Passed into Flynn, and they've just been hounding them full court. The Lancers have been hounding the Surge route, that is. And it's really been the tail of the game. Absolutely. Like, it's just been so, like it's almost every other possession they're tipping the ball or they're affecting something in a way that's almost a turnover. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable defense as Flynn goes for the nice looking shot, but it's going to just go well wide. And Callahan will throw the ball in. Callahan will be giving it to Vanny. 6 minutes remaining now in the first half. Vanny dribbling the ball. She's guarded by Flynn. Stops her dribble, gives it to Callahan down low. Working down low, nice little hook shot. It's going to slip in the basket. Callahan with 2 more points. And now Barnes throws it to her teammate. Throws it to Moynes. Moynes running up the floor. It's picked off by Vanny. Now going to be going the other way is Sophie Vanny, now waiting. Finds Callahan wide open. Oh, not gonna want that one back, but they get it at the perimeter once again. Lemaire had a chance, but she wants to drive on Moynes, and oh, beautiful, just blows past her defender. Now it's a 30-point lead for the hometown Lancers.
Yeah, just for St. Lawrence, really trying to get any kind of offensive motion going with only having 4 players having a basket as Callahan strips it away, but ultimately gets blocked and thrown offside from Alexis Wagner as we see Flynn now coming the other way. But again, 5 minutes left in this first half. I mean, St. Lawrence really just trying to get through this and then regroup at halftime.
Yeah, you got to imagine they are tired because there are already 7 seconds left in the shot clock. They weren't able to even get a shot off, and just disappointment from the St. Lawrence Surge team, as it will be a double dribble and a turnover. Looks like there was an injured St. Lawrence Surge player on the floor at the time.
Yeah, McKenna Barnes, I think she got hit from Callahan on that and stayed down for a second looking for a call from the ref that didn't happen, but then just kind of crouched over a little bit and is getting pulled out of the game for now. We'll see if she comes back as Corbett brings it up the court.
And yeah, Corbett now running, trying to make something happen, but she is fouled. 2 shots for Corbett, foul by, it looked like it was fouled on Lemaire, but it might actually be a foul against number 8, White. Oh no, it was against Lemaire. That's her 3rd foul, so she's technically in foul trouble, but the Lancers have a pretty good lead, so it will be a timeout for Loyalist. And we will take a minute break. Ladies and gentlemen, back on OCAA TV, we have Lancers Surge. At the line is number 10, Haley Corbett. 5'3" guard from Kingston. Frontenac secondary school graduate makes her first free throw. And into the game now for the Lancers. Number 9, Shackle. Number 6, Vanny. Number 12, Anderson. Number 22, Callahan. And number 15, Tomlinson, not really having a real center out there right now. Experimenting with a lineup, it looks like. So we'll see how it goes. Evelyn Shackle driving. Finds Nina Anderson. She gets sent back by Rees. So nice defensive play there by the Surge. Running up the floor is Corbett. Corbett picked up by Vanny. Like we said, bit of a different lineup here for your Lancers now. Oh, looked like it would have been a steal for Nia Tomlinson. And a three-point shot. It's going to go in the basket for number 25, Alexis Wagner. Sorry, that's going to be foot of the line two-pointer. I do apologize for that. 15 for the Surge now. 4 minutes now left in the half. Ball handler guarded by Solomon. That's Vanny with the ball, telling Tomlinson to move. Tried to set an off-ball screen, but looked like it wasn't super successful. Callahan's just going to take it herself, and she's going to draw the foul. Fouled again by number 4, Rees.
I remember last year, Grace Callahan was, I forget which team that it was against, but Callahan went to take a ball to the basket and got absolutely demolished. I want to say that she got cut super bad, went through like 6 different elbows, and got a headband, came back in the game, and I was like, wow, Callahan is legitimately it. The bulldog, the tough guy, and it's awesome watching her. And again, in the previous game, having so many fouls early, we didn't really get to see her on the court as she misses that free throw, but exciting to see her play throughout the season.
Yeah, very active hands defensively, Callahan. She definitely plays with a lot of heart and energy. You can tell she really has a passion for the sport of basketball, and even after missing both free throws, she was still getting her hands in there and almost forced a turnover for the St. Lawrence Surge. And there it is again. And it's going to go the other way. It's going to go off number 22, Solomon.
And it looked initially like Callahan was pissed that it was going the other way, but gets it going back into their favor as Tomlinson looks to inbound here with Lancers up 41-15.
And off-ball screen, looked like a double screen there, but going to go the same way. 3:42 left, and we're kind of at a bit of a standstill here with it's being 41-15 for the Loyalist Lancers. And the energy of the game does shift. Even we saw that against Algonquin and a couple other teams for this female Lancer side as Callahan shoots in the face of a Surge player, going to go in and out of the basket. And Solomon almost turned the ball over. And this time won't be. Oh, Callahan hits the floor hard. And looked like neither of those players liked what happened there.
Yeah, quite the topple over. I'm trying to think of like the right the right phrasing for that, but
it's a technical.
Yeah. After the call there from the side, we heard the bench and whatnot from the side of St. Lawrence. Callahan went up and I think said something or looked back at the direction. But Callahan ultimately going to take the free throw here. So game's in an interesting state, but still passion is there from both squads.
Wow, and that is Callahan. Unfortunately, not able to make that free throw. I think that definitely was a bit of a scuffle there. I'm not sure what Callahan said. She definitely motioned with her arm, or with her hand rather. I think she was smart enough to not say anything directly to the Surge bench, and she ended up getting the call. So that's what a veteran player does. She's gonna say what she wants to say, so the referees can't hear it, and you gotta respect that. As she did get the call, as Shackle drives in, looking for Nina Anderson. Going up, and thought she got hit there, but no call.
Yeah, Anderson, I think, was looking and saying, I don't know if this is going to work. Hopefully, I'm just going to get a foul call, and throws that one out. But you could tell he was not really wanting to take that shot.
And, it might have been a foul in a different circumstance, and Callahan getting her hands involved again. And she's definitely the MVP of the first half, no doubt about it. And going for the long-range shot. Almost hit its target by number 10 on the visiting side, and more players toppling over each other. It's getting a little chaotic now. Vanny running up the floor, looking for the pass to Shackle. Beautiful 2 points, and she makes them falling down. Good job by the first-year player. And Callahan getting in the face of Corbett, trying to get the steal. And there's Tomlinson, who's one of the better defensive players on the Lancers team.
Yeah, absolutely love watching Tomlinson come off the bench for the Lancers as we're looking over to the bench, and it looks like there's going to be an entire rotation, but Tomlinson going to be the sole one that stays on the court here with just under 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Let your third-year player close out the half with a couple rookies on the floor. Alon's back on there. I don't think we've seen Alonso and Tomlinson on the floor at the same time this year. And now with the ball is Corbett. Oh, wow, I thought that might have been a double dribble, but I suppose not. She scores the 2. I don't know about that. That looked like she stopped her dribble there, but regardless, it'll be 2 points for the St. Lawrence Surge. As Alonso has the ball, she gives it to another perimeter player now. Brooklyn White has it. Look for the screen. There's Alonso wide open. She had her foot on the line. Would have been a long 2, but will not make its target now. Looking for a pass. Here's number 10. Passes it back to Alonso. Drives in. And there's number 11 wide open. That's Violet Stark. First 2 points of the game for her.
Yeah, give Stark extra credit, too, because she was able to poke that ball away to make sure Lancer stayed in possession there and ultimately scoring that point. So great awareness there from Stark.
Yeah, absolutely, especially for a first-year player. A lot of maturity on that, and great defense by Tomlinson. Oh, my goodness. I'm not sure. I thought she went up with it perfectly, just putting 2 hands in the air.
Yeah, just going back to the stat line for the Surge, Haley Corbett with 8 points. Been shooting 4 from 4 at the free throw line, and then McKenna Barnes with 3 points over the side on the Lancers. Grace Callahan with those 14 points, and then Sophie Vanny in second spot with 9.
Yeah, great team effort like it's always been for the Lancers. There's always at least 7 or 8 players who get a couple points every single game, and 0 for 2 as Tomlinson gets the defensive rebound, so it won't matter on that foul. She's at her second. And now with the ball is Brooklyn White. She's picked up by Solomon. Brooklyn White finds Stark down low. Beautiful bit of passing. And long-range 3, Forster all the way from Napanee. And it will be an injury timeout.
Yeah, it looked like there was just a screen that ended up twisting the arm of Raina Solomon. And immediately she went down off of that. I think it was off Tomlinson. It might have been White. But, yeah, just an unfortunate situation there where Surge are having a couple injuries piling up back-to-back here late in the second.
Throw in for Wagner now, number 12. Barnes back on the floor. Barnes looking for a target, hands it off to Shetler. Shetler, it's pocket picked. It looked like, might be a jump. Yeah, it will be a jump. And it's getting a little scrappy. It will go the way of the Surge.
Yeah, you're always curious in terms of like the rivalry with Kingston just being down the road. And again, for the men's team, there's actually a couple players that were on Loyalist last year, so very excited to see that matchup. And again, the Loyalist men's squad undefeated at home, as is the women's.
Undefeated at home, but winless on the road for the Loyalists. It's been not necessarily a tale of 2 teams, as a long-range shot doesn't make its target. The Lancers were so close to pulling off a huge victory against Seneca in King City on Saturday. Just a couple shots didn't go their way as Corbett misses the layup, and they lost by 4 points, 109 to 105. It was one heck of a game to watch on YouTube. I was really hoping they pull it out, but they really show that they have a bit of a dog and a lot of fight in them, as it will be a travel. I think personally the Loyalist Lancers men's side, talking to a few of the guys this week, they're going to come out just guns a-blazing tonight. They're not happy about dropping that game and falling to under 500 against Seneca when they felt like they should have won that one.
Less than 50 seconds left here in the first half of Loyalist versus the Surge as White circles it around. It's a Tomlinson. Tomlinson wanting to take it. Back to White. There's going to be a travel call against White.
Probably the right call, but not super pleased with the travel. But like I said, when you've established a large lead and you've come out with the energy that the Lancers have, a couple mistakes, they won't kill you. You definitely, when you get to the playoff time, you want to snuff those out, but they've just done such a good job with a 31-point lead. Might change here after that shot. Yes, it will. 2 points for number 25, Wagner. That's her 4th and 5th point of the night. And now Alonso with the ball. Oh my gosh, bit of a blow-by Alonso, but she gets sent back by number 33, Moynes, and hits the floor hard. Pops up right away. She will be just fine, but Alonso went for it. And a nice defensive play by Taylor Moynes to be in the right place. Loyalist will get the ball back. Tomlinson wide open midi. That'll be easy for her. 2 points, and they will surpass the 50-point mark.
St. Lawrence having to move quickly here. Not really sure if they're aware of how quick they need to get over the court here with 3 seconds on the clock.
And they won't even get a shot off. Blocked by Tomlinson regardless. So 50-19, 31-point lead for your Lady Lancers after 20 minutes of basketball. We will see you guys in 15 minutes for halftime break. Welcome back. Half number 2. We got Lancers Surge. It's been all Loyalist so far. John Ostrowski with Steven Schill on the second half call here. And what are the Surge going to try and do to turn their fortunes around? Another steal from Vanny, but it's going to be recovered by Parole. And this time it's Corbett driving. Parole around the perimeter. Mallon. And just off of her fingertips.
Yeah, really something just to watch how both teams react again. Coach Greg Robertson in his first year with the St. Lawrence Surge, then Coach Caleb Hugh in his 9th year with Loyalist, and again getting nationally recognized last year, which was awesome. As the Lancers are up big again. St. Lawrence is wanting to, come into their own, try to prevent the offensive efforts from Loyalist, and especially those turnovers as Brooklyn White hits that 2-point shot. But again, turnovers really are what's killing St. Lawrence here, really.
Yeah, that's something that we really see against opponents of the Lancers. Loyalist is always leading the game in turnovers. It's something they do very well, and it's easy to see why they're a a conference or provincial, I guess you'd say, champion contender. I guess you go to the CCAA finals if you win, but take it one step at a time. My apologies. So now Vanny with the ball. And like I said, that's why you see them as a provincial contender, and a big block by Taylor Moynes. But defense does win championships. Offense scores points. I believe that to be the case in pretty much any sport, and especially basketball. The defensive energy of the Lancers is probably the main reason why they are a provincial contender. As White throws it in. Sorry, that's not White. That was Forrester, but it won't matter. It's now going the other way. Mallon with the steal. Sends it to number 10. That is Forrester. And now it goes around. Tomlinson. Sorry, that's not Tomlinson. That's Perot with the ball. She gets mugged, and wow, it's no call there. I thought it would have certainly been a jump, but it will be 2 points for the Lancers, for the Surge.
Yeah, and just checking out the overall standings in the OCAA East Division, Loyalist leading it right now at 4-0. The Sting at 4-1, and Algonquin at 3-1. So again, pretty strong top of the conference with Georgian Grizzlies also there at 4-2. And then for the teams currently with the losing record, Centennial Colts at 2-3, Georgia Brown at 1-3, Durham having a really off year at 0-5, and then St. Lawrence at 0-3.
You almost never see the Durham Lords in any sport start with 5 consecutive losses. Of course, I believe they've won the baseball championship in the men's side 10 of the last 12 years or something like that. So that's a shock. One of the biggest schools in the country, in the province there. And a nice bit of defense on the St. Lawrence Surge ball handler. Grace Callahan getting her hand in there, but I believe she'll be called for the foul. Sorry, that's Lemaire called for the foul with the reach, and she'll be taken out as she has 4, only has 1 left. And coming into the game is Nina Anderson. Anderson in for Lemaire. Callahan getting back down by Mallon, and a travel against Mallon. Callahan with the good defense and forcing the travel for the Surge player.
Yeah, and really not too many forwards for the Lancers, and Nina Anderson coming in on her 2nd year, getting some extra playing time here. Very curious to see how she capitalizes to try to impress Coach Caleb Hugh to have her on the floor more. And
bit of ball movement. Takes the contact. Number 10, Forrester, gives it to Callahan at the perimeter. Tries to drive in. Can't find anyone. 3-point shot. And it will be an air ball, but easy rebound for Vanny. So if you want, you could say that's an assist. So now with the ball, Corbett, guarded by Forrester.
I think a little bit of the intensity has slowed down too. Obviously, coming out of that first half, both teams were gritting and grinding. And as soon as I say that, having both players trying to fight for that is Callahan and Barnes.
And it'll be going the way of the Lancers on the possession arrow. Callahan throws it in for Vanny, who's running the point right now. First-year player from Académie Catholique Mère Teresa out of Hamilton, Ontario. Grace Callahan thought about the shot. There's Vanny. Thinks about it, but closed in by Corbett. Now she just drives, really used the defender's closeness to her disadvantage. That was a great way to really get in there. And, wow, another turnover. Vanny this time with the steal, and that'll lead to an easy 2 points for Brooklyn White.
Yeah, Vanny, again, just giving that extra effort and really seeing the results of her effort. The Surge now trying to really get any sort of points, and they're able to do that. But again, pretty wide margin. So if St. Lawrence wants to stay in this one, they're going to have to get a couple of stops back to back.
That was a nice shot there by Corbett. Gets 2, and 3-point shot. Oh, almost looked like it was going to roll in. And Barnes getting harassed. Callahan reaching in on that one. And it looks like she got a what did she do? Did she get a
Yeah, I was about to say, she looked like she put her left hand just trying to poke the ball away from Corbett. I'm not sure if Callahan said something under her breath to the referee, but it did look like there was a technical call, and it looks like it's going to be...
Definitely call attack there.
Yeah.
Yeah, against Callahan. I didn't see she did anything.
It's going to be Mullen that takes the tech, and again, Callahan had one earlier against the Surge bench, so now I guess they evens out, and just like Callahan's free throw earlier on the miss, Mullen not able to capitalize on that tech shot.
56-23 there for the Lancers, and Callahan will take a seat after the technical foul. We will never know what was said, but it won't matter because it converted to 0 points on the technical free throw.
Yeah, well, Callahan also only one foul away from getting ejected from the game. Obviously, Lancers are in a good spot, but going to try to prevent that as we see Mullen in the corner go for the three. Just short.
Yeah, that's going to be well short, but they get their own rebound, and Tomlinson gets her hand in there. Going to recover the ball there. Now Vanny gets the pass. Picked up by Parole. Vanny driving in, finds number 10, and it'll hit the outside of the rim. Haven't been shooting the three ball too well, the Lancers, but it hasn't really mattered, and Barnes was getting harassed there by two players. Looks like it'll be a reach in against number 6, Vanny. That's her second personal foul of the evening.
Yeah, having to deal with Anderson and then Vanny back to back again. Both players early being situationally aware in that circumstance, as we see Flynn coming in for the Surge.
Flynn coming in for number 12, Barnes. She's had a tough time. The entire Surge team has had a tough time getting the ball past the half-court line. And now with the ball is Parole. Their pass to Mallon was affected, but it won't matter, and that was not the best shot for Parole.
Yeah, Perot kind of looked like she just felt like she was rushed on that one. And again, just the confidence for the Surge, having some other players coming back. I know that they're, trying to get into position and creating space for their teammates, but they're just getting picked off so often from Loyalists. They really got to kind of come together and help themselves get out. And as you were saying, just get across court. As we see White turn it over here with Mullen, and it looks like Flynn is down right now. So Surge potentially picking up another injury, as this has just not been the Surge's day.
There's the call. Looks like she got the wind knocked out of her. We'll take a minute or two, and we'll be right back. Okay, back in the game. Do apologize for the slight delay. And with the ball. The Surge couldn't get the call out because there's a little bit of chaos on the floor, but it will be going the same way.
Yeah, that was a crazy breakthrough there for Tomlinson if that ball didn't go out of bounds. But what an arm flick from White.
And something we've talked about, they have had their injury woes, the St. Lawrence Surge. They're definitely a little bit unhappy with the way the games went. It's been all Lancers so far as they try to claw back into this one. And nice shot, but great defense by Vanny. Vanny running the floor, looks for a target, finds White. White waits, finds number 10 at the the three-point line. Gives it back to White, but unable to get the ball in the basket, and Tomlinson throws it off Mallon. Should be going the same way. Can't see the official on the far side, so we'll wait to see the players to line up. And the St. Lawrence Surge have Friday against Durham in Oshawa, so two teams without a win so far. Someone will be forced to get their first victory of the season. Both teams will be competing in that one. 4 seconds left. Got to get a shot off. Tomlinson rushing in. If I was her, I would have shot the three, but loses the ball, unfortunately, and great job by the Loyalist player to try and draw the charge.
Yeah, just going back to the turnover discussion, Surge having committed 33 to Loyalist 12. So, again, that's the big story of the day. But in the rebound department, both teams are actually incredibly close, with St. Lawrence just one ahead with 19 to Loyalist 18.
And we saw that in the last game, too. Got a bit away from the opponent. I believe it was Algonquin, and they were still very close on the offensive glass and defensive glass, respectively, as Vanny runs easy. Oh, not an easy layup. Sorry about that. But
no, I mean, she knew that Carbet was right behind her running down and just didn't want to get fouled there. So
yeah.
Obviously just kind of held up a little bit towards the end, but I think she had the room to go.
And she's still smiling about that layup there. You know what? It's not feeling too bad when you're up 30-something points. I know I've said that a couple times, and you definitely want to capitalize on stuff. But yeah, it's not the worst, honestly, when it's when you've really come out fantastic, starting the game on like an 18-2 run, and you really got to be proud of your effort. And defensively, especially, the Lady Lancers have been phenomenal on that end of the floor. And just forcing turnovers. The reason why they're winning the game by 33 points is because they've turned the ball over at an insane clip. And there's a second free throw. She'll miss both, but they'll get the rebound. There's 21. Shetler tries to find a target, and ball sent around. 25 with the shot. Won't go in. We'll be going the same way. And number 15, Parole from Fenelon Falls, Ontario, fourth-year player. Finds the post player, Malin. Malin tries to go up with it. Goes up over Tomlinson. Thought she gave her a shot, but no call. Malin scoring 2 there. Running up the floor is Vanny. Vanny waiting for Nina. Nina Anderson back to Vanny, and a blocking call against the St. Lawrence Surge.
Which is going to be their first foul of this quarter. Loyalists already in foul trouble here. With just about 4 minutes left.
Yeah, you don't want to get bogged down by free throws if you're the Lancers. I guess it's the tale of 2 quarters when it comes to the fouling. It's been quite interesting how it's varied and who takes their fouls and when they happen. And there's another shooting foul that was... Oh, no, sorry, that was a block, but it will be on the shot, so it's basically the same as a shooting foul is. It results in free throws, so that is Malin's 4th of the evening. She'll likely be coming out of this one. Now in the game for your Loyalist Lancers, number 11, Violet Stark, number 10, Forrester, number 6, Vanny, and it looks like number 9, Evelyn Shackle, and of course Anaya Tomlinson. Anaya Tomlinson from Ajax, and Shackle, the only Belleville listed player on the roster for the Lancers. I believe Callahan is also local, but she's from just outside city limits.
And Tomlinson 1 of 2 at the line, making the first, missing the second, but rebounded there by Forrester.
And number 11, Violet Stark, all the way from Scarborough. That's going to be a 3-point shot for the Lancers. And number 15, Perot with the ball, gives it to number 10, Corbett. Corbett runs in. Easy 2. Looked difficult, but made it look easy, I suppose. And number 10, Forrester, looking for something. Can't find anything. Goes in with the Curry layup, but can't make it. And a rebound now. Number 10, Corbett running the floor. 3:27 left to go in the third quarter. 13 minutes left of basketball left in this one. Pushed by Tomlinson, no call. Number 15, Pearl with the ball. Looking for something, can't find it. Blocked. Nice step over. Oh, what a shot, number 15, Pearl. And now the St. Lawrence Surge are cooking a little bit.
Yeah, getting a little bit more confidence on the offensive side of things for Surge. The Surge, as that almost gets picked off, but going to go off Wagner. It will be a Loyalist ball, but again, back-to-back points here from the Surge, and you're hearing their bench come alive a little bit as well.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to get their first victory on Friday. This one down 30 with 13 minutes left might be a bit difficult, but I'm sure crazier things have happened in the sport, and there's a turnover. There you go. The St. Lawrence Surge getting a bit of momentum as I just say that, but they're definitely looking to build to Friday and pick up their first victory of the season and get back in the playoff hunt. As number 15, Perot has the ball. Looking to pass it off, can't. Great defense by Vanny, but they only have 7 seconds. They got to get a shot off. Here's Perot. She's fouled. Wow, good job to draw the foul by Forrester. That was Clearly a hit on the play. And looks like someone's looking to make substitutions. Oh, it will actually be a timeout on the side of the St. Lawrence Surge. We'll be back soon. Perot with her first free throw of 2. It goes in. 30 points now for the St. Lawrence Surge. 1 of 2 on that one. Now Tomlinson. Tomlinson dribbling, finding space. Passes it out. Oh, tried to go back to Tomlinson, can't find it now. Here's number 9, Shackle with the ball. Shackle driving in this time, takes the contact. Oh, that will be 2 shots for that one, I think.
Yeah, good confident drive from Shackle. That's what Coach Caleb Hughes wanting to see from the players. And again, for Loyalist, just a really grit and grind team.
Absolutely. Now Shackle with 2 FTs here, getting ready. And misses the first. And 1 of 2.
Yeah, both teams really struggling at the three-point line as well. Surge 1 of 7, and then 4 of 17 for Loyalists. So again, both teams really not capitalizing when they're trying to shoot the 3.
I can't believe they shot 17 threes. It feels like they haven't shot that many, but that is the stats. And you hope to get that up when you're not up by 30 points. But tonight you've been able to score at all 3 levels. Not really a huge issue that you haven't hit the 3 ball too much, because you've been beating players off the dribble all night like that, drawing fouls and being able to get to the line and choose your shots very easily, as this has been all Loyalist for the first 28 minutes of this one. As number 10, Forrester, now will be at the line shooting 2. Takes her shot and off the front of the rim.
Obviously, we still have 2 minutes left within this one, but St. Lawrence really putting a dent compared to what Loyalists scored each quarter. Again, in the first 26 points, in the second 24, and here in the third, Loyalists only scoring 10 so far.
And another unforced error. That will be a travel. Loyalists will be getting the ball back. Getting ready to throw the ball in is number 6, Sophie Vanny from Innisfil. Thrown in to Tomlinson. Looked like she got fouled there. No call. Will be a jump. Will be going. Oh, no, it will be a hold against number 6, Vanny. They can't believe that one. I thought that was for sure a jump ball.
And it looks like Lancers are going to have another substitution where it's all but 1, as Lemaire is going to stay on the bench, and also Dana Zashi Ventanilla also are in the track pants off to the side. Somebody I was really looking forward to watching this year, but it looks like there's an injury of some sort. Unfortunately, I don't know all the details on that, but hopefully have her back before playoff time.
Yeah, that will be something. If that persists, we'll get the scoop on that one. We'll talk to someone involved, whether it's Coach Hugh or one of her teammates, or her directly, because like you said, she was an impact player last year, and third-year player. That's a big miss when you're missing a third-year point guard. Likely the starting point guard going into this year. So we'll see what happens in the future and if she can suit up before the new year, because I believe there's only one weekend left until at home until the Christmas break.
Yeah, I was about to say it is quite a lengthy break.
Yeah,
they
it's
don't really
over a
play in
month.
December at all.
Callahan from deep, and that's all the way from Port Hope. Grace Callahan with a long-range three in the far corner. And number 12, Barnes with the ball. She's picked up. That's a bit too easy of a pass, but Anaya Tomlinson with a big block. And now Alance, she's not thinking two. She was a bit too far in to think three, but she's a three-point shot first, that's for sure. The ball won't go in the basket now. With the rebound is Perreault. Perreault dribbling up the floor. $1:10 left to go in the third quarter. Active hands from the Loyalist player. Perreault hands it off to Rees. Rees guarded by Anaya Tomlinson now. Number 12, Barnes. 7 seconds left on the shot. This has really been an issue for St. Lawrence. Haven't been able to get shots off early enough in the shot clock. And a bit of rough stuff. 100% a jump. Be going the same way. 50.3 seconds left. Possession arrow will change after the inbound. A lot of jump balls being forced by the Lancers. Seems like they're almost always forced by the Lancers, and that's just an amazing way to play defense, being so tough and physical, especially on the interior glass. And that'll be a push. It looked like definitely not against Tomlinson, and I think Anderson was the culprit. Because, yeah, Anderson with her first foul. I think that was the right call there. I think if it was on Tomlinson, maybe ask a few questions. But, yeah, push 2 shots off the shot. First shot goes in. Number 15, Perreault, had a pretty good game statistically. However, can't be super pleased being down this amount. But she's played quite well. She's done what she could to help her side. As Flynn will be coming into the game for Perreault.
Yeah, Perreault with 8 points on the evening, with only Haley Corbett with 12 beating her out in terms of the stat line for St. Lawrence, as we see Leanna Tomlinson.
She's running up the floor now. Brooklyn White with the ball, pass it out to Alance. Oh my goodness, faked her out, but she's sent back. What a block by number 10, Corbett, to get over there. Timed it perfectly. 32.3 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Alance trying to get her back on the steal there. Oh, nice behind the back move by Corbett. She's got a bit of a handle on her. And sent around the perimeter now. Flynn with it, looking for a pass. And there's number 4, Rees, with the three-point shot. That's going to hit the glass. 14 seconds left. Alance pushing up the floor, finds Nina Anderson. Anderson takes the hit, definitely too. .1 seconds left in the third quarter. The next possession will likely be the last one of Q3, as we're getting into the latter stages of this game. Definitely like what Loyalist what they've shown you. A couple things to improve, especially on the long ball, but for the most part played a pretty perfect game.
Yeah, but Amber Perreault getting pulled out by Coach Greg Robertson, as that was her 4th foul, so not wanting to pick up the 5th, and again, second leading scorer for the Surge.
And it'll sink in. Nina Anderson. 9.1 seconds. Looking to rush it here. Flynn. Sorry, not looking to rush it. Now Flynn comes up the basket. Sorry, comes up the floor, excuse me. And now 2 seconds left. Got to get a shot off, and they have not gotten any buzzer beater shots off today, as we'll take 2 minutes and be back for Q4. back with the fourth quarter. 10 minutes remaining. What a pass, Tomlinson to Grace Callahan. Hits the front of the rim, gets her own rebound, follows her shot. 2 points, Callahan.
And again, keeping an eye on the foul trouble for Callahan. Obviously, this game's pretty much one and done, but, you know, of course, we still have a few minutes left as St. Lawrence immediately turns it over from, I believe, stepping out before passing the ball.
And join us in about 45 to 50 minutes. Give the guys about 20 minutes to warm up. It's already 7:36, so the game will likely start around 8:10, 8:15. We got the men's version of this one. St. Lawrence Surge coming in at 3-2, taking on your 2-3 Loyalist Lancers as Brooklyn White got pushed. It looked like, but no call. Maybe a bit of a push. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was no call on that one, so it will be St. Lawrence ball. Flynn now running up the floor, guarded by Anaya. Bit of a mismatch defensively here. Anaya Tomlinson, definitely pretty long arms, even for a wing. Able to redirect that a little bit, but Moynes has the ball down low. Moynes, shot over Callahan, hits the front of the rim. Tomlinson gives it to that's Nina Anderson. And now Alance looked for Callahan straight away, couldn't find her. Nina, no, in and out. And Callahan, oh my goodness, she's everywhere on the floor now, man. Ridiculous. 2 offensive rebounds in 50 seconds. And Alance just rushed that one a bit. Nina gets a bit of physicality on that shot, but it'll drop in.
Yeah, and we saw when Kaylee Lemaire had to come out earlier from being in that foul trouble, just like Grace Callahan question, or I guess thought was really around Nina Anderson and just being able to show her worth. And again, getting foul calls, scoring baskets, being there on every rebound. Really, really impressive showing here from Nina Anderson.
And that's Angel's first call. She's going to be, I feel like her role's going to, the way she's played today, will be expanded because she's had one heck of a game. 5-second rule, and there it is. That was both number 8 White and not Lemaire. That was 8 White and 3 Alance, just absolutely hounding the recipient of the ball and whoever was throwing it in, and that caused a 5 seconds. So she's been great defensively. I think once she, gets a couple more OCAA matches under her belt, she'll be seeing a lot more playing time as White has the ball now. Looked for Alance, couldn't find her. Nina did not set a screen. Tomlinson looked like it'll be a hit on her. Or maybe a block, actually. We'll see what the call is. Yeah, it was a block on the Surge player against number 10, Corbett. Could have been either way, block or charge. Oh, she's wide open, Alance. Oh, and not on that one. Good job closing out by the Surge player. Not sure if there was contact or not. Could not see from my vantage point, but it will be a throw-in. 69-33 for your Lancers.
Yeah, really interesting just to watch both teams struggle as much as they have from the three-point line. Feels like that's traditionally not the case. And again, Alance today seems to have missed the majority of those 3 points as another one comes through for St. Lawrence. And add that one to the missed category.
And like we said, when Loyalist isn't able to capitalize on one aspect of the floor, today their three-point shooting has not been great. They've been able to drive the lane, draw fouls, shoot middies. They've been everywhere. And there's another midi, but it's blocked this time. 69-33 still. Tomlinson on the defensive glass, but it's sent back by number 33. That's Moynes.
Yeah, and just rechecking the three-point percentages. Surge shooting 14.3%, Loyalist at 27.8%. So, again, not really a great showing from either team on that front.
Now, with the ball is Flynn running up the floor, looking for something. Hands it off to Rees. And Rees had the ball. It was a reach-in by number 8, White. It was only her second foul. I thought it was her 4th. But that is Brooklyn White's second foul of the day. 8:06 left to go in this one. Of course, we have Loyalist St. Lawrence men's basketball coming up right here, exact same place, around 8:10 p.m. tonight. So keep the stream open, maybe grab a bite to eat, and enjoy another hour and a half or so of OCAA basketball. And Alance getting in there, unable to make anything happen, but no, it's not make anything happen, but unable to get the ball. She's definitely able to affect the path of those players, but it will be, I think, a foul against one of the Loyalist players. We'll see who it's charged against, or maybe just a turnover, because no foul was on the call there. Now Moynes has the ball out in the perimeter, and it's passed right to Nina Anderson. Anderson sends it to Brooklyn White. White running up the floor, takes the mid, he stops and pops, but unable to convert that one. Now going the other side of the floor. Here's number 12, Barnes. Barnes finds her teammate number 25. That was Wagner, but misses it. Oh my goodness, Tomlinson. Thank goodness that the wall is padded there, because that was dangerous.
Yeah, I don't actually know if that wall's padded at all. It's one of the walls that leads into the cafeteria that ends up sliding. So Ayanna Tomlinson able to get up on her own, but I guess I would say with that, it's probably better than the cement wall.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
On the other end of the court, but Tomlinson coming out of that one, and again, just looking in decent spirits on that, so good to see no injury. But again, St. Lawrence earlier in this game feels like they had so many, but we're also seeing a couple of those players back, and they look like they're doing all right. But in 7:30 to go, so we see a shot up and in from Kaylee Lemaire, who, again, is on the 4 fouls.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by Lemaire. I said the first game that I was surprised to see a post player handling the ball that much, but she doesn't really play like a traditional post player in the OCAA. She handles the ball a lot. She's able to run the floor, and that's a travel against Flynn. So Lemaire is definitely a player who's able to score at all 3 levels.
Yeah, it's felt like this fourth quarter has really been slow, too, with so many whistles, turnovers, everything under the sun as well. So we'll see if that ends up changing anything here. But again, Loyalist firmly in the lead.
71-33, and that was something I think that the Surge really emphasized. They wanted to get offensive chances, but they really have had a hard time doing so. The Lancers defense has been just despicable, unbelievable on all 3 levels. They've been unbelievable defensively. They've been able to get their hands in there, and there's a jump ball.
Yeah, Lemaire holding on. 3 to 4 Surge players tries to rip that away, as we're going to see a timeout on the floor from Loyalist as they're up so significantly. Interesting to see, but we'll take a timeout. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. OCAA Live, Loyalist versus St. Lawrence. A commanding lead for your Loyalist Lancers in the Battle of Belleville versus Kingston. And going around is number 10. That is Forrester. I always get Forrester and White mixed up for some reason. I'm not sure. They play similar play styles and similar height. And with the long-range shot, unable to make that one. And Lemaire looking for, this time, Sophie Vanny.
Yeah, and really good idea there from Lemaire, not trying to rush a pass or anything, and just standing still, waiting for a second for things to calm down. As we see the 3-point get up, and it's out and in as Lemaire gets toppled over.
Yeah, when you have a beautiful pass like that, you want the highlight play to make the tray, but unfortunately not able to put that one in the back or in the bottom of the basket. But that was a beautiful pass by Vanny there. 6:15 left to go. And fouls are at 2 for the home side, 3 for the visiting side. So a couple to give still until it's time for the bonus. And beautiful team basketball, the assist to Vanny. Able to just drop it in, no problem. And here comes the St. Lawrence Surge running up the floor. Number 10 takes a shot. Now Moynes has the ball, gives it back to Corbett. Corbett thought about the shot. She's picked up by Vanny. Corbett goes up. With the defensive pressure, Corbett able to score with the contact. And Vanny takes the ball back from Forrester. Dribbling up the floor is Forrester. Sorry, dribbling up the floor is Vanny. Guarded by Corbett. Forster. NBA range, not going to take it. Thought about it. And Flynn getting in there. Jump ball will be going the same way.
Yeah, it's always interesting to watch all those those jump ball sequences with both players try to grab it, and sometimes it turns out into just everybody crashing on the floor, or injuries and whatnot, and that's probably the most aggressive we always see either team. And again, it's really calmed down a lot. We saw earlier where, again, Callahan and I want to say that it was Corbett ended up toppling over each other and technicals on both sides and everything else. So we had a pretty crazy game earlier, but now with just over 5 minutes left, things have calmed down and both teams just wanting to get this one over with.
Yeah, I think so too. It's out of reach for both sides. Well, out of reach not for both sides. Out of reach for St. Lawrence, and great defensive pressure. That's something that the Loyalist bench mob never stops doing, is adding that defensive pressure, and you absolutely love to see it. That's what championship teams are made of.
I'm going to end up jinxing myself there because Moines and Lemaire coming together there. Moines was not happy with that, obviously getting the foul call, but that's going to be the 5th foul for Lemaire, which I'm not sure if she's realizing that is 5th, so we'll wait to see when a substitution comes in.
Oh,
And then I'll also get a minute here when a player fouls out. So we'll take a quick break and be right back as the Lancers are ahead, 73-35.
This has been one heck of a game for your Lady Lancer team. They have just absolutely came out and showed why they are at the top of the East Division.
And Moines puts that one through. As again, we're seeing another player with 4 fouls coming out onto the floor in Laura Mullen.
Yeah, 5 minutes on the dot. You don't want, that's going to go the other way. Oh, no, yeah, it's going to go the other way. Definitely off the foot of Shackle, I thought. And I got confused for a second due to the reaction, but it will be surge ball as they come up the floor. Parole has been on the floor for probably 28, 29 minutes tonight. Has not gotten much of a rest, and here comes Corbett driving the lane. Sent back by number 9, the first-year player, Evelyn Shackle. The local product sending that one back. And a personnel change coming into the game. Alonce Tomlinson, number 8, Brooklyn White, and 22, Callahan. And staying into the game is Nina Anderson.
We'll see a timeout on the side of the Surge.
Four minutes, 43 seconds left. Just want to get out of this one for both sides with no injury. Malin passes it around, and air ball on that shot. Will be going the other way, and both teams on opposite sides of the standings. Of course, the Durham Lords are going to host the St. Lawrence Surge on Friday. Both teams searching for their first victory and searching to get back in playoff contention as Callahan takes a 3. Oh, in and out. And Forrester went up with that one. Sorry, that was Anderson that went up with that one. Can't believe there was not a jump. And travel against Alance. I thought she took 2 steps.
Yeah, I think the jump just wasn't called because both players kind of lost possession amongst that, and everybody crashed amongst it. But Alance there was able to come up with it, but ultimately not get the point. And now we're seeing Mullen.
Yeah, this is the time of the game where you don't want to get any injuries and pick up any knocks, especially when both of these teams will be playing relatively soon. Malin for 3. That'll not find the target. It will be a turnover, and coming into the game now, number 12, McKenna Barnes. She is one of 2 local players, local to Belleville that is, on the St. Lawrence female basketball team as Alance runs up the floor, guarded by Barnes. She left her weak side wide open. Alance going to attack that easily. Anderson passes it around. White, Anaya Tomlinson thought about it. Now White has the ball at the top of the perimeter. Brooklyn White, beautiful shot. Little Sean Livingston in that one. Just takes 2 dribbles and shoots the midi. That's the type of basketball I like. You don't really see that anymore in today's game, but you love to see it when it happens. Driving in is the opposing player, Parole. She takes the foul. Alance not happy with that call. Alance with her second foul gave a little look to the ref on that one. Wasn't, like I said, not happy with that call, but definitely not worth a tech. So good job to not say too much by the first-year player. 75 for the hometown team, 38 for the visitors. That'll be 39. And now Alance takes the ball up. I would be surprised if there was any change in personnel, at least for Loyalist side. And Anaya not able to bring that one in. It will be a turnover. Malin will throw it in.
Yeah, Anderson just trying to connect there with Al once or Tomlinson and not able to find either here.
Tipped out by Anaya, and it will be going the same way. 3:10 left to go in this basketball game. And we're shifting gears to the men's side. 3-2 St. Lawrence coming to town, taking on the 2-3 male Loyalist Lancers. 3-point shot, that'll be no good. Getting ready for this one, your Loyalist Lancers are winless on the road, but unbeaten at home. Of course, coming off a 109-105 disappointing overtime losses. Anaya takes a 3, won't be able to make that one. And like I said, just not happy. Taking the game to overtime, playing their hearts out, and unfortunately one team had to lose that game. You really wish there was 1 point like there is in hockey, because both teams deserved a little recognition. To put up 109 points for Seneca, 105 points for Loyalist is just unbelievable.
And Barnes getting fouled by all once, and the Lancers in foul trouble, so we'll see some more free throws in the final 5 minutes of this game, having a mighty struggle to get through in a timely manner.
It'll rim out. Oh for 2, and that's something the Surge, they haven't been the best at, definitely capitalizing on their shots at the charity stripe, and a little bit of a scrum there for the ball. Now White just needs to get past half. She's able to. She's running, looks for Anaya, who looks for Callahan. Callahan with the jumper, 1 dribble, shoots it. They love that midi right now. 77-39 for the local Lancers. Looked like it went off Alance's shoe. And will be white ball after the jump. Coming into the game now, Shackle and Stark coming out of the game. Tomlinson and White. Oh no, Tomlinson's staying in, sorry. Coming out of the game was White and Callahan, excuse me. And Alance running up the floor, jogging up the floor. Now Nina has the ball. Nina Anderson passes it to Shackle. Makes a double move, but can't get past her defender. Nina Anderson, ball at the corner, ball at the perimeter. Stark takes the midi. Gonna try and bounce in, but won't be able to. Alance takes the wild pass, takes the foul, and one! Angel Alance takes the harm. And will able to finish through contact. That was a veteran move from a rookie player there. Loyalist, definitely the type of player you could see playing for more than just 2 seasons at the OCAA level.
All once 50% from the line. Now going 1 of 3 on the day, but able to pick up that rebound.
Can't find it now. Anaya with the ball. Reached in by Malin, tipped it away. White ball.
Yeah, in the last game, Alliance was quite successful with their offensive game, but only shooting 1 of 8 today. Didn't matter, because obviously her teammates really stepped up, but very unusual game from Angel.
Yeah, definitely did other things on the court. Like I said, she was definitely a tenacious defender today, able to keep her head up and still play. It's hard when you're a shooter and your shots don't fall. Even if you're winning, it really is not a good feeling. So that's a good job by her to just keep her head up and keep playing hard, because she's definitely had an impact on this game positively, regardless of the 1 for 8 shooting splits. And now with the ball is number 15, Perot. She's jogging up the floor looking for a target to pass to. Doesn't have anybody. That's been a struggle for the Surge. Oh, nice little jumper by Perot. Able to get past 40 points as it's 41 now for the visitors. We have under a minute 30 left to go in the game. Violet with the ball now. Passes it to Angel Alliance. Makes a move, takes a jumper, and able to knock it down, improving her field goal percentage tonight. Now 40-point game. Malin has it. Passes it around. Tried for the distance shot, but looked like the St. Lawrence player jumped into Tomlinson, but still going to get the call. That's 15 Perot from Fenelon Falls. She's going to take the 2 free throws. Making the first one from the charity stripe. $1-2 left to go in this one. Like we said earlier, we just hope both these teams were able to get out of this one and not suffer any injuries as Malin gets the basket. Now Alliance dribbling up the floor. Sends it to Nina Anderson. And taken away by number 15. That's Perot. Perot dribbling up the floor. 45 seconds left to go in this basketball game. It will go down as another dominant win, improving to a 5-0 start. The Lancer female basketball team. A loss with a spin move, takes the harm. And she'll shoot 2 free throws.
So Mullen getting her 5th foul, so that's why they're just taking a minute.
A loss. Missing the first one. Will go down, like I said, as a great win for the Lancers women's basketball team. We'll make the second one. And about to wrap this one up. Likely 2 possessions left. Passing it around. Here's Perot with the ball. 5 seconds. And another foul. And of course, the younger fans in the Loyalist crowd are loving the time left remaining. Indeed, 6.7 seconds left in the game. I'm sure you could have guessed where I was going with that one. And makes that one. 2 new subs into the game. 6 seconds left to go. Alliance will dribble this one out. That will be a victory for your Lancers women's basketball team, improving on an undefeated start, 5-0, and the St. Lawrence Surge will drop to 0-4. They'll be trying to improve their luck on Friday in Oshawa against the Durham Lords. We will be back in about 20 minutes. We have the men's matchup in this one, 20 after 8. We will see you then. For Stephen Schill, my name is John Ostrowski, and see you soon.